Good morning. Welcome to Monday Reflections. I'm out of coffee. I'm gonna go get some more. Be right back. What's up? Okay, that's better. Am I in focus? I don't know. Yesterday at Avenue South, we were in Exodus chapter 5, and we read verses 1 through 9. This is the text where Moses and Aaron, they approach Pharaoh. So Moses obeys God, and he goes to Pharaoh with Aaron, and he tells Pharaoh, hey, this is what Yahweh says. He says to let my people go. Pharaoh doesn't like that idea. He says, who's Yahweh? And why would I let my people leave? No, I'm not going to do that. So then they responded, the God of the Hebrews has spoken to us. He asked him again, please let us go into the wilderness so that we can worship God, or else he's going to strike us with plague or the sword. And then Pharaoh responds and says, Moses, why are you causing the people to neglect their work? You go get to work yourself and stop being a distraction. So then at that point, Pharaoh commands the overseers of the people and then their foremen to not supply, I don't know what they were building, pyramids maybe, but don't supply them with straw. Make them go and get their own straw, but don't reduce the quota of bricks because they are slackers. It says it right there, for they are slackers. That's what it says. Now I've got my notes from yesterday. So in this text, we see Moses in his calling, and we see him approaching Pharaoh, and then Pharaoh presents opposition. So in this story, there's earthly opposition that Moses has run into. You and I are going to run into earthly opposition in our calling and when we walk inside the will of God. The first thing I take from this text and from the message yesterday, to expect that opposition. Moses, he was fully equipped, but his first interaction with Pharaoh went really bad. Pharaoh says, I'm not going to let your people go, and I'm just going to make them work harder. That could potentially make the people turn against Moses. Can you relate to something like that? Maybe you feel like something has fallen through, that God's not showing up in your life, a prayer that you're praying, that he's not answering it the way that you want to answer it. Sometimes we have an equation in our mind of, if I pray this and God answers it, then this is going to be the result. You can probably attest to this as much as I can, that that's almost never the case, because we think we know the answers, or we think we know what's best for us or for other people, but in reality, we don't. God knows what's best for us and for other people. If we always thought what was best for us, or if that equation always worked out, we would never need God. The struggle always produces a dependency on God. It further pushes us towards God. So just like Moses, yeah, that if Moses had if he'd have just wiped the floor with Pharaoh on that first encounter, I think it might have been possible. We talked about this yesterday, that the people would have made an idol out of Moses. I think that first encounter was, something to keep Moses humble. It was something to continue to push Moses in the direction of God rather than himself. And we have to fall back on God. We have to look back at God and say, it's not working. I don't know what to do. I can't tell you how many times I pray this prayer. Lord, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what to do. I need your help. I need you to come through on this. I need you to show me the way. That is the ultimate dependency on God. And that's exactly what a relationship with God looks like. Dependency on him. It weaves together a relationship. If I didn't ever need God, if I always had it figured out, there would be no relationship. I wouldn't need anything, and I would never go to him for anything. I would never pray. I would never ask for anything. God uses the opposition in our lives to increase our dependency on him. We may see earthly defeat, but heavenly rewards. And that is the true victory. Earthly victory is so temporary, but a heavenly victory is eternal. And that kind of goes into the next point of this text that we talked about, that to expect heavenly reward, not to be so focused on that earthly victory over something, but to be heavenly minded and to have the eyes of heaven and looking forward to eternity. We talked about the story of Job yesterday. In Job's life, everything was ripped out from under him just like that. And Job's response wasn't to disown God or to cuss God or anything like that. And it was to worship him. That was his response. Here's my opposition, here's my earthly opposition, and this is my response. I'm going to worship God no matter what. So I would encourage you to, in the middle of your opposition and your calling and whatever's going through in your mind and your life today, to seek the face of God and worship him no matter what. And today, get real with God and just pour out your heart to him. Let him in on what he already knows, but let him in on what's going on in your mind and in your heart, and just be vulnerable with him. Ask him those tough questions and he'll give you exactly what you need. And in the face of opposition, worship him. Bye.